Welcome to Mission Hills High School, Evening of Murder and Suspense. Tonight's performances are produced by Mr. Rob Delorfano and this Mission Hills High School Drama Department. They are directed by Miss Dana Carr, and our first play this evening is Sorry, Wrong Number. Tonight's performers are Haley Nose as Agnes Stevenson, Alexis Fish as the operator, Aidan Reese as Sergeant Martin, Haley Isbell as Chief Operator, Eli Eames as Information and Western Union, and Elena Elam as Receptionist.
Good evening. This is the Man in Black. I am called the Man in Black because I have an aversion for light. I am here in the studio tonight. What are you doing? Dim the light, you fool! Imbeciles! Excuse me. Where was I? Oh, yes. Tonight, I am here to introduce you to a program written by a woman who has seen into the darkest side of human weakness, the hateful, the mean, thoughtless, that leads to murder. Tonight, from San Marcos, we present a compelling actress we discovered in the dark and dreary eucalyptus groves of Rancho Santa Fe. Miss Ruth Godley appears in a study of terror written by Lucille Fletcher called Sorry, Wrong Number, about a woman who is caught in an unfortunate predicament involving the telephone company and the police. This program is not for the squeamish. Listen at your own risk.
Operator, I've been trying to call Murray Hill 40098 for the last half an hour and it's been busy. I don't see how it could possibly be busy that long. Can you try that number for me, please?
I'll be glad to try that number for you. One moment, please.
I don't see how it could be busy all that time. It's my husband's office and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Ringing Murray Hill 40098.
Hello?
Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello, George?
Yes, this is George speaking.
Hello? Who is this? What number am I calling, please?
I'm here with our client.
Oh, good. Is everything okay? Is the coast clear for tonight?
Yes, George. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
Okay.
Where are you now?
In the phone booth. Don't worry. Everything's okay.
Very well. You know the address?
Yes, I know. Let's see now. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around the corner to 2nd Avenue for a beer.
That's right. 11 o'clock. And be sure all the lights downstairs are out. There should only be one light visible from the street. What's that? Just a minute, George. Oh, our client tells me that at 11:15, a train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise in case a window is open and she should scream.
Hello? What number is this, please?
Okay, I understand. That's 11:15 at the train, eh?
Yeah. Do you remember everything else, George?
Yeah, I'll make it quick. As little blood as possible, because our client doesn't wish to make her suffer.
That's right. You'll use a knife?
Yes, a knife. It will be okay. Then afterwards, I'll remove the rings, the bracelets, and the jewelry in the bureau drawer, because our client wishes it to look like a simple robbery. Don't worry, everything's okay. I know.
Oh, how awful! How unspeakably awful! Operator! Operator!
Your number, please.
Operator, I've just been cut off.
Oh, what number will you be calling?
Well, operator, I was supposed to be calling Murray Hill 40098, but it wasn't. Some wires must have got crossed. I was cut into a wrong number, and I've just heard the most dreadful thing. Something about a murder and operator, you'll simply have to retrace that call at once.
Oh, I beg your pardon? May I help you?
I know it was a wrong number, and I had no business listening. But these two men, they were cold-blooded fiends. And they are going to murder somebody. Some poor, innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge. And we've just got to stop them. We've just got to.
What number are you dialing?
It doesn't matter what number I was calling. This was a wrong number, and you dialed it for me. And we've got to find out what it was. Immediately.
What number did you call?
Oh, why are you so stupid? What time is it? Do you mean to tell me that you can't find out what that number was just now?
I'll connect you to the chief operator.
Oh, I think it's perfectly shameful. Now, look, it was obviously a case of some little slip of the finger. I told you to try Murray Hill 40098 for me. You dialed it, but your finger must have slipped, and I was connected to some other number. And I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again, on purpose. Why couldn't you try to dial Murray Hill 40098 in the same careless way?
Murray Hill 40098. I will try to get it for you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Murray Hill 40098 is busy. Would you like me to try?
Operator!
Your call, please.
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly, and all you did was dial correctly.
I am sorry. What number are you calling?
Can't you for once forget what number I'm calling and do something for me? Now, I want you to trace that call. It's my civic duty, and it's your civic duty, to trace that call and apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you won't...
I will connect you with the chief operator.
Well, please. All this talk can't make anyone understand.
This is the chief operator.
Oh, chief operator, I want you to trace a call, a telephone call, immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down because it was about a murder
I'm
that
not
someone's
certain.
planning.
It depends.
A terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor, innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
It depends on whether the call is still going on.
It depends on what?
If it's a live call, we can trace it on the equipment. If it's been disconnected, we can't.
Disconnected?
If the parties have stopped talking to each other.
Oh, but of course they must have stopped talking to each other by now. That was at least 5 minutes ago. And they didn't sound like the type that would make a long call.
Well, I could try tracing it. May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Elbert Stevenson. But listen.
And your telephone number, please.
Plaza 32098. But if you go on wasting all this time...
Why do you want this call traced?
Why? No reason. I mean, I merely felt very strongly that something ought to be done about it. These men sounded like killers. They're dangerous. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight. I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no. Not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual.
But meanwhile...
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, but I'm afraid we couldn't make this check for you and trace the call just on your say-so.
But...
As a private individual, have to have something more official.
Why?
I'm sure that will be the best way to deal with.
For heaven's sake! You mean to tell me I can't report there's going to be a murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why, it's perfectly idiotic. Well, all right. I'll call the police. Ridiculous! I've never heard of such nonsense.
Your call, please.
Police department. Get me the police department, please.
Police Station 43, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police department? This is Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Smith Stevenson of 5353 North Sutton Place. I'm calling to report a murder.
Huh?
I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet. I just overheard plans for it over the telephone. Over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call myself, but everybody is so stupid, and I guess in the end you're the only people who could do anything.
Yes, ma'am?
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. 2 men were talking, and they were going to murder someone at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge. Are you listening to me?
Huh? Oh, yes, ma'am.
And there is a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue, and there's some third man, a client, who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. Well, it's unnerved me dreadfully, and I'm not well.
Yes. Yes, I see. When was all this, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago. Oh, then you can do something. You do understand.
What's your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
5353 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge. The Queensboro Bridge, you know? And we have a private patrolman on our street.
Yeah?
And 2nd Avenue is
And, what was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 40098. But that wasn't the number I overheard. I mean, Murray Hill 40098 is my husband's office.
Mm-hmm.
He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home.
Yes?
I'm an invalid, you know, and it's the maid's night off, and I hate to be all alone, even though he says,
Yes, well,
as long as I have the telephone right here, right beside my bed.
well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, and see if we can check with the telephone company.
The telephone company said they couldn't check the call. The parties have stopped talking. I've already taken care of that.
Oh, you have?
Yes, and personally, I feel you ought to do something more immediate and drastic than just check the call. What good does checking the call do if they've stopped talking? By the time you track it down, they'll already have committed the murder.
Yeah, well, we'll take care of it. Don't you worry.
I say the whole thing calls for a search. A complete and thorough search of the whole city. I'm very near the bridge, and I'm not very far from 2nd Avenue, and I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
Well, what makes you think the murder is going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Well, I don't know. Only the coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
Yeah, well, 2nd Avenue, you know, is a very long street, ma'am. And you know how many bridges there are in the city of New York alone? Not to mention Brooklyn, Staten Island, and Queens, and the Bronx.
I know all that.
How do you know it isn't some little house on Staten Island on some little 2nd Avenue you never heard about? How do you know they're even talking about New York at all?
But I heard it on the call on the New York dialing system.
Well, maybe it was a long-distance call you overheard.
No!
You know, telephones are funny things. Now look, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken in on that telephone call, supposing you got your husband the way you always do, you wouldn't be so upset, would you?
Well, I suppose not. But it sounded so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
Well, a lot of murders are plotted in this city every day, ma'am. We managed to prevent almost all of them. But a clue of this kind is so vague, it isn't much more use to us than no clue at all.
But surely you can...
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call was phony and somebody was planning to murder you.
Me? No, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm alone all day and night. I see nobody except my maid Eloise. She's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray. And the only other person is my husband, Albert. He's crazy about me. He adores me. He waits on me hand and foot and has scarcely left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Yeah, well, then there's nothing for you to worry about, and you just leave the rest of this to us. We'll take care of it.
Well, what will you do? It's so late. It's nearly 11 now.
We'll take care of it, lady.
Well, will you broadcast it all over the city? And send out squads? And warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine?
Lady, I said we'd take care of it. Now, I've got a couple other matters here on my desk that require immediate attention, so, good night, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, you idiot! Oh, why did I hang up the phone like that? Now he'll think I am a fool. Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he? I'll get the operator again.
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Murray Hill 40098 number again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
I will try it for you. I'm sorry, Murray Hill 40098 is busy.
I can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. Ugh. If only I could get out of this bed for a little while. If only I could get a breath of fresh air. Or just lean out of the window and see the street. Hello? Albert? Hello? 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 Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? 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 Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello, hello, hello? Who is trying to call me? What are they trying to do to me?
Your call, please.
Hello, operator. I don't know what's the matter with this telephone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now, look. I'm an invalid, and I'm very nervous. And I'm not supposed to be annoyed, but if this keeps on much longer...
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, everything's wrong. I haven't had one bit of satisfaction out of one call I've made this evening. The whole world could be murdered for all you people care. And now my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds or so. And when I pick it up, there's no one there.
I am sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put that call through, whatever it is, at once.
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
You can't? And why? Why, may I ask?
The dial system is automatic. If someone is trying to dial your number, there is no way to check whether the call is coming through the system or not, unless that person who is trying to reach you complains to his particular operator.
Well, of all the stupid. And meanwhile, I've got to sit here in my bed, suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check the trouble.
Check it.
For you, ma'am.
Oh, what's the use of talking to you? You're so stupid. I'll fix her. dare she speak to me like that? How dare she speak to me like that?
Your call, please.
Young woman, I don't know your name, but there are ways of finding you out. And I'm going to report you to your superiors for the most unpardonable rudeness and insolence that's ever been my privilege. Oh, and give me the business office at once.
You may dial that number direct.
Dial it direct? I'll do no such thing. I don't even know the number.
The number is in the directory, or you may secure it by dialing information.
Listen here. Oh, what's the use? Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm going out of my mind. Hello? Hello? Stop ringing me, do you hear? Answer me. Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now, stop it, stop it, stop it, I say! If you don't stop ringing me, I'm going to call the police. Do you hear? Hello? Hello? If Albert would only come home. Oh, let it ring. Let it go on ringing. I won't answer it. I won't answer it this time. If it goes on ringing all night, I won't answer it. I won't answer it. It stopped. Why did it stop ringing all of a sudden? What time is it? Where's my clock? Where is it? 5 to 11. They've decided something. They're sure I'm home. They've heard my voice answering. That's why they've been ringing. Oh, where is she? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Where were you just now? Why didn't you answer? Give me the police department. Ugh.
I'm sorry. The line is busy. I will call you when...
Busy? That's impossible. The police department can't be busy. There must be other lines available.
The line is busy. I will try to get them for you later.
No! I've got to speak to them now. It may be too late. I've got to talk to someone.
What number do you wish to speak to?
I don't know, but there must be someone to protect people besides the police department. A detective agency.
You will find agencies listed in the classified directory.
I don't have a classified. I mean, I'm too nervous to look it up. I don't know how to use the book.
I will connect you with information. Perhaps she will be able to help you.
No! Oh, you're being spiteful, aren't you? You don't care what happens to me. I can die and you won't care. Oh, stop it! Stop it! I can't stand anymore! Hello? What do you want? Stop ringing! Will you stop?
Hello? Is this Plaza 32099?
Yes, this is Plaza 32099.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here from Mrs. Albert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I'm Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Albert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, New York. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Albert.
Oh, no.
Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. No, I don't believe it. He couldn't do it. Nobody knows I'll be all alone. It's some trick. I know it.
Your number, please.
Operator, try that number. Murray Hill 40098 for me just once more. Please.
You may dial that number direct.
Oh. 40098. Oh no. You're gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? Oh, but I can't stay alone tonight. I can't. If I'm alone one more second, I'll go mad. I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I'm a sick woman. I'm entitled to some consideration.
This is information. May I help you?
I want the telephone number of Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital. Do you have the street address?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley. Henchley.
One moment, please.
Please hurry. And please, what is the time?
You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake! I've no time to be dialing!
The number of Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 89970.
Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you leave me alone? Why? Oh, Albert.
Henchley Hospital.
Nurses Registry.
Who is it that you want to speak to?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. What's the nature of your case, madam?
Nerves. I'm very nervous. I need soothing and companionship. You see, my husband is away and I'm...
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I really don't see why all this is necessary. I want a trained nurse. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and after all, I do expect to pay this person for attending me.
We quite understand that, madam, but these are war times, you know. Registered nurses are very scarce just now, and our superintendent has asked us to send people out only in cases where the physician in charge feels it's absolutely necessary.
Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset. Very. I'm alone in this house, and I'm an invalid. And tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. A woman is going to be killed when a train crosses a bridge. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in. And what is your name, madam?
Miss Phillips, when do you expect her to come in?
I really couldn't say. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
Just 15 minutes past 11.
What was that?
What was what, madam?
That click just now. In my own telephone. As though someone had lifted the receiver off the hook. Off the extension telephone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this nurse...
But I did. There's someone in this house. Someone downstairs. In the kitchen. And they're listening to me now. They're listening. I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet. And they'll think... But if I don't call someone now while they're still down there, there'll be no time. I've got to get to that operator.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare speak louder. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear.
But you've got to hear me. Please, you've got to help me. There's someone in this house. Someone who's going to murder me. And you've got to get in touch with the... There it is. Did you hear it? He's put it down. He's put down the extension phone. He's coming up the stairs. Give me the police department.
One moment, please. I will connect you.
Okay, hurry. I can hear him. Oh no. Please. Oh God, hurry. Oh God. Please hurry. Oh God. Please. Please.
Police Station 43, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Sorry, wrong number.
Things did not turn out too well for Mrs. Stevenson. After his wife's untimely demise, Mr. Stevenson moved to California with his secretary, Marge, where he has won a seat on the San Diego City Council.
And now, a word from our sponsor, Palmolive. Latest reports from doctors on the 14-day Palmolive plan.
Kansas City reports better complexions for 93% of women.
New Orleans reports better complexions for 97% of women.
In city after city, doctors tested the 14-day Palmolive plan on all types of skin, and 2 out of 3 of all women tested got better complexions in 14 days.
What is this 14-day Palmolive plan?
Wash your face 3 times a day with Palmolive soap. Then each time, take 60 seconds more to massage Palmolive's lovely soft lather onto your skin as you would a cream. Then rinse. This cleansing massage with Palmolive's lather brings your skin its full, beautifying effect.
See what Palmolive can do for your skin in 14 days. Remember, doctors proved Palmolive's beauty results.
Mission Hills High School Theater presents Voice on a Wire. Tonight's performers are Benjamin Demi-Paris as Dr. Preissing, Sydney Sanchez as Geraldine, Charlotte Knight as Laura, Jonah Sanchez as Harvey, and Michael Rivera as The Voice. Colgate Tooth Powder presents Inner Sanctum Mysteries. Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host, Raymond, inviting you in through the squeaking door. Well, it's so nice of you to come here tonight and help me sit up with the corpse. He's such dull company, so cold and stiff, bored with being dead. All the life seems to have gone out of him. What? You say you've seen him before? Oh no, he's not that horror man who plays in pictures. But he does look like him. So much so, in fact, you might call him a dead ringer. Tonight's Inner Sanctum Mystery, Voice on a Wire, is an original radio drama by Robert Sloan.
tooth powder. Keep smiling just right. Use it each morning and use it at night. Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
Romance. What is romance? Romance is the light on the path of love, but a light so delicate that even a breath may put it out. Even a breath. You'd hate for that to happen to you too, wouldn't you? Well, don't let a breath of trouble ruin your romance. Don't let unpleasing breath offend the one you love. Tell you what, brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate tooth powder, because scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. And, let me add, Colgate tooth powder is the only tooth powder that offers proof of this fact. And then, too, Colgate tooth powder cleans your teeth beautifully. No amount of money can buy you a dentifrice that will clean your teeth more quickly and thoroughly. Remember the name, Colgate tooth powder, with the accent on powder.
Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
No doubt the telephone is an ingenious invention, but as far as I know, no one has yet been able to commit murder over it, although many people have wanted to. Still, there are worse things you can get on the phone than the wrong number, especially if you happen to call the voice on the wire. On a long, narrow island just off the shore of one of our larger lakes, Mrs. Geraldine Reeves, widow of the late composer David Reeves, lives alone in a gaunt, great shingled house. Only a few hundred yards away are the charred remains of her former home, where David was burned to death in a fire just 2 years ago. It's after dinner now, and as the clock in the hall strikes 8.
You've got to get a hold of yourself, Geraldine.
I can't help it, Doctor. You see, it starts every night, about this time.
What starts?
The music, David's last composition. I hear it being played on a piano, and the notes seem to come from the old house. The house where David died in the fire.
Well, perhaps someone is playing that piece on the piano. Someone on the island.
No. There is only one other house out here, and those people are away. And the dog. A dog keeps howling all night long.
What dog?
I don't know. There's no dog on this island. But David and I did have a dog, remember? He stayed with David the night of the fire. He died with him because David was too ill to get out of bed. There it is again.
It's amazing. That's a real dog somewhere on this island.
Do you think so?
Why, of course. Probably some stray got across the bridge or swam over from the shore.
Well, you see, I don't understand. Oh, excuse me, Doctor. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Geraldine Reeves.
Yes, speaking. Who is this?
Listen.
Good heavens.
You have 4 hours to live, Mrs. Reeves. 4 hours to live.
What? What did you say? Hello? Hello?
What's the matter, Geraldine?
The music! The same music! I heard it again! Over the phone. Someone's playing it on the piano.
It must be some sort of a prank.
No. A man spoke to me. He said I have 4 hours left to live.
4 hours to... Here, let me have that phone.
No. It's no use. He's rung off.
Well, we might be able to trace the call. Hello? Operator. Operator.
Somebody's trying to kill me.
Hello? Operator? Operator.
What's wrong, Doctor?
I'm afraid the wires have been cut. Better get in my car and drive into town right away.
Yes, it isn't safe for me to stay here another minute.
Can't understand it. The motor won't turn over. Somebody must have meddled with this car while we were in the house.
Well, try my car, Doctor.
I think perhaps I'd better. Is it in the garage?
Yes, I left it in... Oh my goodness. Great heavens! It's gone! The garage is empty! The car's been stolen!
Now, let's not lose our heads, Geraldine.
But...
We're not completely cut off yet. If we can't use a car, we can still walk.
But it's almost a mile to the bridge and the road is so dark along the water.
It won't be too dark with a flashlight. We can go down through the woods to the edge of the water and walk along the shore.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
I just remembered. David's brother is driving out here tonight.
Oh, Harvey?
Yes, and his wife Laura. They said they'd be here by 8:30. And if we wait for them, they can take us back in their car. What do you think, Doctor?
That's safer than trying to make it alone. If we wait right here, perhaps we can watch the bridge and see them coming. Heaven's sake, Geraldine, what are you staring at?
The bridge, Doctor. The bridge, look! This end of it has been washed out! Oh, Doctor, this is crazy. Searching for a telephone wire in the back of the house? If we're seen out here, there's no telling what might happen.
Please, Geraldine. We've got to find out where that wire was cut and splice it together again. It's our only chance of reaching the police.
But it's almost 9 o'clock. We've wasted an hour already. If I'm not out of here by 12...
Stop it, Geraldine. Stop it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. What's that?
It's the dog again. That confounded dog is tied up around here somewhere.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean the light on the road. There's a strange light on the road.
The headlight of a car, coming this way.
A car?
Yes, quick, behind the house and stay out of sight. It's turning into the driveway.
How could a car have come out onto the island with that bridge out?
Shh. They're getting out.
Oh, why it's Harvey and Laura!
Good heavens.
Oh, Harvey!
Hello.
Harvey, oh, Harvey, I just...
Well, for Pete's sake, Jerry, what are you doing playing hide and seek with us back there?
Oh, Harvey, I'm so glad you've come.
Jerry, what's the matter?
Oh, everything. But first you've got to tell us how you've got here.
Why, we just drove over the bridge and on up the road the way we always do.
But how could you drive over the bridge? It's been washed out.
What?
Well, I saw it with my own eyes. And Dr. Prasing saw it too. Didn't you, Doctor?
I certainly did.
Oh, you must be mistaken. We drove over the bridge not more than 2 minutes ago.
Are you sure you haven't been on the island longer than that?
Oh, I'm positive. Why?
Well, some very strange things have been happening here tonight. Geraldine's life was threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Her car stolen.
Oh my.
And mine tampered with.
What?
What are you talking about?
Look, I'll show you. The starter in my car won't even turn the motor over. Here. By George, it's working now.
Say, what is this, Jerry? Have you and the doctor been taking a few pills? Or did you drink too much wine at dinner?
Oh no! Everything he said is true! Even the telephone wires have been cut! I must be going out of my mind. That is my telephone ringing, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Aren't you going to answer it?
I'm almost afraid to. Come with me, Harvey. Will you, while I do?
Sure.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Reeves?
Yes?
Listen,
Again?
it's 9 o'clock, Mrs. Reeves. You have 3 hours to live.
I can't stand this waiting, this endless waiting. Why don't the police come?
Easy now, Jerry. They'll be here. You only phoned them a few minutes ago.
But something can happen before they get here.
I have a gun ready, just in case anything should happen, and I won't hesitate to use it.
You have a gun, Doctor?
Why, yes, Geraldine gave it to me before you arrived.
Oh.
What's the matter? You trust me with a gun, don't you?
Why, of course, I...
Laura, what is it?
A face at the window! I just saw a face at the window!
Laura, please. You're letting your imagination run away with you.
No, I saw it right there! The face of a dead man!
Quick, Harvey, out the back way.
Right.
No, please don't leave us.
We'll be right outside the window.
Jerry, I'm afraid.
Well, there's nothing we can do, Laura. They won't be far away.
But I don't trust Dr. Preissing. You should have never given him that gun.
Why not?
Because I think he's a murderer.
Laura!
Yes! Don't you remember how he acted at the trial when you were accused of starting the fire that killed David?
But
he testified against you time and again, subtly, to make them think you did it, because he started that fire himself.
what on earth are you saying?
I'm telling you the truth. During the trial, he swore that he wasn't on the island the night of the fire, but he was, and I can prove it.
How?
By this cigarette case of his. Here, look at it. You see how it's charred and melted on the side where his initials were? He must have left it in the fire that night, by mistake.
But he couldn't have. The police searched everything the next morning. They would have found it in the ashes.
Not if it wasn't there. He came back for it that same night, soon as he missed it, and dragged it out of the fire. He knew it would incriminate him if it were found in his possession, so he threw it into the lake as he drove over the bridge. And that's where we found it, in the water, the last time we were out here.
Oh, Laura, I hope you're wrong.
So do I. But if I'm right, we're all in for so much.
Laura? The lights! Someone's turned off the lights! Laura! Laura, where are you?
Jerry, the door! Coming through the door! It's the face I saw at the...
Laura! It was meant to be me, Harvey. Whoever came through that door intended to kill me.
Jerry, please. How is Laura, Doctor?
I'm afraid I can't do anything for her, Harvey. She's passed on.
Oh!
Oh, my.
Laura, darling.
You'd better not touch the body, Harvey.
Oh, leave me alone! You've done enough already, Dr. Preissing.
I beg your pardon?
You have a lot of explaining to do when the police arrive, Doctor. I'll tell them how you ran away from me out there before the lights went out, and how you were here in this room when they went on again.
Harvey, don't say things you'll regret later on.
Just a moment. Where is the cigarette case Laura had in her hand when the lights went out?
What cigarette case?
You know the one I mean, Dr. Preissing. The gold one that was charred in the fire.
I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
I have. And if you're as innocent as you claim to be, you won't mind being searched.
Not at all. Go right ahead.
I will.
Whom are you calling, Geraldine?
The police. I can't understand why they haven't arrived yet. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Maybe something's happened to them on the way. Maybe their car broke down.
Their car, too?
Huh?
Nothing. Only, it seems as if your car's the only one that works when you want it to.
Headquarters.
Oh, Sergeant, I can't understand why your men aren't here yet. A murder has been committed.
Do you think you've been calling the police department all this time, Mrs. Reeves?
David's music?
It's 10 o'clock, Mrs. Reeves. You have 2 more hours.
Jerry, are you in your room?
Yes, Harvey. Come in. What is it?
This is our chance, Jerry. We've got to run away from Dr. Praising now while we're alone.
Yes, of course, Harvey. But how will we go?
In my car. It's just... Wait a minute. Listen.
What is it?
Sounds like footsteps in the living room. Praising must be in there.
No, I saw him go outside. He wanted to see if you could find the dog.
Well, there's someone in there. I'm going to find out who it is.
Be careful, Harvey. He may be standing just outside the door.
Yeah, all right. You stay behind me.
Is anybody there? Is anybody in the living room?
No, there doesn't seem to be.
Don't overlook me, Harvey.
Well, Dr. Praising, you've been standing at this door with your ear to the keyhole?
No, not exactly.
I thought you were supposed to be outside looking for that dog.
I was outside for a while, but I saw someone moving around in here, so I came back. When I got here, your wife's body was gone.
What?
What?
Gone? Laura's body gone?
I assume that it's gone. It's not where it was on the floor.
But how could... Look here, Praising. You were alone in this room.
And so were you. After I left, wasn't he, Geraldine?
Well, yes. Now that I think back, he was.
Certainly. What's more, Geraldine saw me leave the house. And when I left, the body was still here. After that, I don't know what happened.
What are you driving at?
Draw your own conclusions. I've drawn mine.
Why you...
Harvey, stop it! Stop it!
I'm sorry, Jerry. I just...
Oh.
The dog again.
Yeah. I can't understand why you didn't find that dog, Dr. Praising. He must be right out there where the old house used to be.
Well, if you think you can find him, why don't you go? Good heavens, man!
What?
Look, there's a fire burning out there.
On the grounds of the old house!
Praising, you started that fire yourself, and you're burning Laura's body in it to cover up your crime.
Harvey, where are you going?
I'm going to the fire, Jerry. I've got to stop it. I've got to put it out.
I'm going to lose my mind if someone doesn't stop these awful things from happening. Won't anybody help us?
Easy, Geraldine. The man who hopes to kill you is trying to break you down first. It's part of his plan. Here, take a sip of this brandy. It'll help you.
All right. Thank you, Doctor.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing really. I just don't care for any brandy just now.
What's wrong with it?
Well, I didn't say anything was wrong with it. I just don't.
You fool! Do you think I'm trying to poison you?
I don't know what to think.
Here, give me that brandy. I'll drink it myself. There. Believe me now?
I don't believe anyone.
Listen to me, Geraldine. I'm the best friend you have in the world right now. You've got to understand that. Because there isn't much more time. We've got to get away from Harvey while he's still out there.
What do you mean?
Can't you see? He's trying to kill you.
That's a lie.
It isn't, Geraldine. Harvey's the one that's lied to us. He and Laura both. They intended to kill you when the lights went out. But in the darkness, Harvey made a fatal mistake. He thought it was you he was strangling, not Laura.
I won't believe that.
It's the truth. They never drove across that bridge at 9 o'clock tonight. They've been here on the island all evening.
How do you know?
Because we saw that bridge with our own eyes. And I saw it again just 5 minutes ago. It's still down.
You're lying!
Come out and see it for yourself.
You're just trying to get me out of this house.
Stop being such a fool. Here, take this gun. If it'll give you any security, take it. And hold it in my back while we're out there. But for heaven's sake, let's get away from Harvey, while there's still a chance.
All right, give me the gun.
Here.
Now, you keep in front of me all the time, and I'm warning you. If you make one false move, I'll kill you in cold blood.
You see? Harvey and Laura were lying to us. The bridge is still down.
You're right. They couldn't have come across that bridge.
Of course not. The only trouble is, we can't get back over it now either.
We've got to get away, Doctor. Now, before we're seen.
What about that house at the other end of the island?
The people are away.
But they might have a boat.
Yes, of course. They do have a boat. We can row to the mainland. Come on, quick.
All right.
I have a feeling we are being followed.
It's your imagination. Hurry, Geraldine. Hurry.
We are being followed, Doctor. Look behind us. There's a man with a dog.
Good heavens! It's just like the dog you owned. The one that died in the fire.
Yes, and the man. It's David.
We've lost them. Lost them in the woods.
They can't be far behind.
It doesn't matter now. The house is just ahead.
But the boat, Doctor. The boat's not at the landing.
It must be.
Well, it isn't. Can't you see it isn't?
Perhaps it's around in the back.
No, that side of the house faces the road.
Then we'll have to break in. Hide here until morning. Our best chance is to be inside, where we can protect ourselves. After all, you still have the gun.
But I hardly know how to use it.
Then give it to me.
No!
You still don't trust me, do you?
I don't know, Doctor, but I'm the one whose life has been threatened. So I really should have the gun.
Very well. Wait here. I'll break through the window and come around on the inside.
Did you hurt yourself?
No, I'm all right. Just wait there for me. I'll unlock the door.
Oh, hurry, Doctor. Please, hurry. They're on our trail again.
Come inside, Geraldine. Quickly. And lock the door behind you.
What's wrong, Doctor?
Nothing's wrong. We're in luck. There's a phone here, if it hasn't been disconnected. Hello? Hello? Operator.
This isn't the operator. Tell Mrs. Reeves it's 11 o'clock. She has 1 more hour to live.
Half past 11.
I won't leave this house. I'm not going to run away any longer. If they are going to kill me, let them come in here and do it. Only for heaven's sakes, why don't they just do it right away? Why don't they come here and get it over with instead of waiting till 12 o'clock?
Geraldine, please.
Well, I can't stand it any longer. I'd rather die than go through any more of this torture. I just can't.
Sit down for a moment. Relax and try to ease your mind.
Oh, for... Dr. Praising, what are you doing?
Playing the piano. I thought it might relax you.
But that melody, you're the one I hear at night playing David's music, playing it right here in this house.
Yes, Geraldine. I rented this house to protect you from David and the dog.
Well, stop it! Stop playing that piece! Stop it!
You didn't know that David would come back to life, did you, Geraldine?
Now, stay where you are. Stay!
Don't be afraid. I won't harm you as long as you have that gun. But the gun won't stop David.
David's dead!
Is he? Listen. He's right outside the door. And in a moment, he'll be here to take you with him.
No! Ah! David! David!
Yes, Geraldine. I've come back to see you in spite of everything you've done.
Stop!
You killed me, didn't you, darling? You started that fire because you knew I was too much of an invalid to get out of bed.
Stay where you are!
You hated me, Geraldine.
Stop!
No. You bullets can't harm me now. Nothing you can do can harm me. Because I'm dead and you're still alive.
David! David, forgive me. I didn't know what I was doing that night. Please believe me. I was sorry as soon as I started that fire, but it was too late then. I couldn't put it out. I just couldn't.
How dare you? How dare you ask my forgiveness when you're still lying?
But I'm not lying. I'm not. I told you everything.
Why didn't you tell the police?
Because I wanted to live.
You confess everything now?
Oh, yes, David. Yes, I will. If you'll only leave me alone. Please. Please. It was my cigarette case Laura found in the water. I'd thrown it over the bridge that same night after I took out the fire.
Well, I guess that's all we need, Harvey. A full confession with 2 witnesses.
Harvey?
Yes, Geraldine. I do look like my brother in this dim light. And the dog Laura's holding outside is the same breed as the one you owned.
Laura? Laura? Did you say Laura was alive?
Very much so, Geraldine. Wasn't hard for me to pretend being dead, with the doctor keeping you away from my body.
Then you were all in this together. You forced this confession out of me!
Yes, Geraldine. The blank cartridges Dr. Praising slipped into that gun of yours really turned the trick. Oh, excuse me. Hello? Oh, hello, Inspector. Yes, it's all right now. You can hook the wires up again. She's told the truth. And you'd better get to work on that bridge right away. It's, still down.
What an outrage. All those opportunities for murder and not a drop of blood spilled all night long. Oh well. Some days you can't lay away a corpuscle. Well, it's almost time for me to join the moonbeams now. But before I leave under a cloud, before I'm missed, I thought I might pass on the moral of tonight's story. If you must light a fire underneath your husband's bed, be careful where you drop the ashes. Well, now it's really time to close that squeaking door. Until next week, when Colgate Tooth Powder brings you another Inner Sanctum mystery. So until then, good night. Pleasant dreams. Thank you for joining our evening of murder and suspense. All of us at the Mission Hills Drama Department wish you a good night.